Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. There have been several comments made by some that I take exception to about Filipinas. One is that you shouldn't bring your Filipina wife to America because she will become Americanized. And another is that if you marry a Filipina and are going to live in the Philippines, that you should live several islands away. I will link the first two videos in the description box. Please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea, where I do my best to provide help for a foreigner to have a good relationship with a Filipina, from online communication help to living in harmony with her in marriage. Keep up with notifications by clicking the bell and leave comments here or in the community corner chat forums. This video is part of a playlist called Expat Trial Run. The sentiment about living several islands apart from her family, I'm going to accept as not made tongue-in-cheek. Even if it is, I will show why I think it is best to live near her parents. We have built a house for us and her family, which we will utilize when on vacation there, and when we retire, which, Lord willing, will be in the Philippines, and maybe within about 4 years. There was never any thought given by either one of us to live in the Philippines a safe distance from her family. Why do some people say that would be a good idea? Well, that's easy enough to recognize. The idea is that by living so far away from her family would not be able to just drop in. If they don't drop in, they're not going to be able to ask for monetary help. There might be the thought that they don't want them to be over and eat all their food or play karaoke a lot. It isn't that I can't comprehend the logic in that, but I have a different view, and that might come from the vantage point that I have been married to a Filipina since May 10th of 2015. If a foreign man has not been to the Philippines and isn't married to a Filipina, it is easier to understand why they would want to live somewhere else in the Philippines. There must be a belief that having her family drop in is a bad thing. I have met my wife's family on 3 separate times now, and frankly need to get to know them better, so if I were able to do that more frequently when living there, that would be good for me and good for them. After all, we are a family. I married into her family and she married into mine. We are a family. I want to get to know them better, and I'd like them to know me better. Why is it a bad thing to be so close in proximity to her family? Is it the money? Retiring necessitates a better handle on money because the foreigner will be relying on other income like Social Security, pension, 401k. With the Filipina not working overseas now, that will result in a lot less money being available to be used, and the Filipina should not be shy about politely letting her family know things are not going to be the same way regarding help with money as it once was. This is not going to be easy for her. I don't see why as a couple they still couldn't find a way to be of some help. I know my wife wants to have a job of some kind when we retire there. If that's in 4 years, she would be 35 years old. She wants to work, but not have to do it 12 hours a day. That is something we have talked about, but it would have to be something where she would be accessible to me while working, not like it is here in America where we might not see each other during the workday. Working in such a way would allow her to help her family. Even so, it is important for your Filipina to be able to let her family know that it is not possible for the help to be the same way it had been when working overseas. She should also encourage her siblings to work if they aren't. I even have a thought about how I might earn some money doing something fun, but still work, but that would be done online. This I would be glad to use for her family if this can be worked out. I won't mention it here since I want to mention that in a different video about retirement. Is it to maintain a level of privacy? This doesn't seem to get a lot of talk, but since the Filipina's family has been so important to her, something you know if you are married to a Filipina, your wife will probably want some family around. How many at a time and how often, no one can tell right now until it happens. As a foreigner, the thought of retiring to a place, any place, is probably made with the assumption that there will be peace and quiet. I feel that way too, but I married a Filipina. I can't marry a Filipina and expect her to be an American or a Russian or a German. If she is in the Philippines to stay, she will want things to be a lot like they always were before marrying the foreigner. I think the problem the foreign man would come up against living in the Philippines is his wife might not be as happy as if she was able to easily see her family. I'm not suggesting you have to live across the street from your family in the Philippines, but I think she should be reasonably close to them. For those viewers who married a Filipina and are residing in the Philippines away from her family, I hope all is well. And if so, please leave a comment about how you are managing that. Is it having family over for karaoke? Karaoke can be heard about anywhere, and I would love to join in karaoke the next time we're there. Maybe I'm missing something, but I would bet that given her choice, the Filipina would always want to be pretty close to home if she was to live with her husband in the Philippines. Let me know if you've had success either way. If it simply doesn't work out, then we will go from there, but I think having family right there will be good for me so I can have people to talk to. Like my wife in 2016, I will be in a foreign place and want to get to know some people. I want to get to know her brothers especially, and brother-in-law. I'm sure this is quite unusual, but who's to say it won't be better than living a long distance from her family? Living close to and with her family is what I've decided to do with my love beyond the sea.